Hello everyone, I hope you all are staying safe and healthy. This is episode 6 now of the binder organizing series. This is gonna be the complete opposite of episode 5. We're really only focused on one comeback last one, and this time we're focusing on too many comebacks. I will leave a little list here. I don't know if I can have it scrolling, but it'll be here of what I currently have so I don't miss out on anything. But we're going to split this up into like two little parts for me filming, but it'll be in one video. And in this part, we're going to be focusing on Weeeye's comeback and Red Velvet's comeback. Obviously, Weeeye's is going to be focused on a little bit more because there's more cards to go over, and Red Velvet is just 3 cards for the album and like 1 pre-order benefit so far. Update: I'm an iPad kid now, and now I have my templates on my iPad. It's just so beautiful. Before we get started with setting up on these binders, I just wanted to leave a little reminder. If you like this kind of content, please be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to stay notified, you can always hit that bell. I don't have a set schedule yet, but I upload as often as I can. I have binder organizings, photo card sorting, collective hauls. You're gonna see a lot more album unboxings in the near future with all these comebacks that are coming. With all of that out of the way, let's get on with setting up in these binders. In the next part, we're gonna focus on the blue binder because I cannot physically put another pocket page in there right now because it is so full. So I need to actually split that binder up in 2 in this video and then be able to sort out my collections because the majority of the ones I have to set up are in that binder. Let's go here to the Dongham binder. We're gonna go all the way back here. I already have the pocket pages set up. I have 4 here so far. 1 is for the Make Star Round 8 cards, and the other 3 are for the photo cards. It is very similar, or not exactly like Identity Challenge, where it's 4 cards each version in total, and each copy gives you 2 photo cards in total, so we only need to buy 2 copies of each version to complete the Dongham set for the album. And I've joined a bunch of different group orders for the pre-order benefits, so those should be coming by like June of this year, if I can like guesstimate correctly. They also released a 4th version called the Meta version, and in the Meta version, it's a total of 3 photo cards for the set, and each background of each photo card is similar to a different version of the album. So what I'm gonna do is kind of similar also to Action Era. I'm gonna do a 5 setup like how I did, so that way it would be the 4 photo cards and the Meta version card, because there's no Polaroids or transparent cards, it's just photo cards and then bigger inclusions. I also currently don't have paper fillers right now. I don't have the binder with me that I have all those fillers in. I stored it away somewhere right now. So I'm only gonna just have the cards the way I'm gonna set them up, and then I'll put in the fillers after. Now that we are done with setting up, this is what it looks like. So it's kind of like mixing up challenge and action together because it's the same amount of photo cards, but it's being set up in the same way as action because of the meta version. I am gonna do pre-order benefits later when there is a better idea of exactly how many pre-order benefits are gonna be in total. Again, there's only one round and they're starting the second round for some stores as of this moment. I don't think it's gonna be a good idea to start now and then forget. So that was the Weeekly part, and now we move on to Red Velvet. We're gonna move all the way to the end. The photo cards are just Queendom Part 2, since it's only one version is the Reeve version and the other's the Oracle version. Reeve version is kind of like the Queen's version for Queendom, and then the Oracle is like the girls version. Kind of similar with like packaging style. The Oracle is kind of like a box, and then the Reeve version is kind of like a book. What I'll probably do then is only set up for the Reeve and Oracle version cards. Really short and sweet, love that. I'm glad that it perfectly fills out this last page I have, since I usually only just collect regular album cards for Irene. And that was it for this little first part. Again, very quick since there were only really 2 albums and comebacks that we had to really set up in these binders. The majority of the other comebacks I have to set up for are in my Bloom binder, and I need to get another one first so I can split them up and then focus on setting up. Yeah, I will see you all in the next part of the video. Welcome to part 2 of the 6th episode of this binder organizing video that we're doing, and for this one we're going to be actually making some progress on Weeekly's pre-order benefits for First Love era, as well as storing my new Promise cards. If you do not know, I'm collecting Promise now, as well as finishing up for updating Weeekly and STAYC, and I think that should be it. I don't know if I have anything else major coming in, because for Solji's album it's only 3 cards, so I don't really need to set anything up for that. So I'm going to show this very quickly, but for the pre-order benefits for First Love, they're not fully up to date on the templates from the user that I usually use on Twitter. So what I do is that I keep track of what pobs currently are out, and which ones I've joined group orders for, and which ones I've like already confirmed that they're coming. Here's a quick little list. We're not gonna look too into that, but just know that it's there, and I'm gonna use that to sort of do a first like initial organizing plan of how I'm going to be putting in the pre-order benefits for this era. It is a lot more than last era's. I can already tell this is like maybe more than double what the last era was for action. We do have a lot to go through. Hopefully we have enough pages to go through and have it still fit this binder, because I think the binder is reaching its limit. I do have some of my extra bigger inclusions here on the side. I haven't traded them yet, so I'm just leaving that there for now. I'm like honestly thinking, am I gonna be running out of space here for this? I don't want to have to get a second binder just for Weeekly, but it might happen soon. First, I'm going to count how many cards there are so far for pre-order benefits. Alright, so I counted, and so far what I have is 30 pobs in total. That is excluding Make Star A. What I'm just gonna do is go all the way to the back here. Here I'm going to start, and I'll put 4 pages here. I can't really tell right now what the pobs look like at the moment. I do know that some of them have some sort of like an outline, and some of them have already been released, and I'm just waiting for them to arrive to me. So what I'm gonna do for now is just put 3 pages with 9, 1 page with 3, which would be the 30 cards, but there seems like there are going to be a lot more that are coming out. And additionally, I will also be including eventually in a page behind this the first concert photo card set that came out with the merchandise. The main person that I joined group orders for Weeekly with, they actually went to Korea recently to go see their first concert, which looked so good from the previews so far, so I was so excited to see her go over there. She also was doing a group order for the merchandise for the concert, so I joined to get a photo card set, so I am so excited to be getting those as well. I think they'll be coming in with the rest of my group orders depending on how she decides to send everything out. The recording stopped right as I finished with the fillers. I don't know if that's a sign, but we have 32 here actually in total, not 30. I was just miscounting because some of the listings I have in my notes are for 2 pubs at once. What I'm gonna do here also is look through these cards and group them up by store, because that's how I usually organize all of my pubs. I put the stores together, so let's do that. So I have them grouped up here. So the order that I did was Make Star, then K-pop store, because that's how we usually do in the previous eras, and then K-Town, and after K-Town jump up, then Dear My Muse, then Everline, and then the last two are MMT and the Who's Fan Lucky Draw. Again, this is all we know so far. We don't know if there's any other pre-order benefits at the moment that are being released. This is the most recent that I have as of today, because the most recent group order was for Everline around 3, and I already joined it and confirmed that I'm in the group order. I don't know if they're finishing off with any rounds of Make Star because of the concert. They kind of cut the promotions for the era in half, so they're continuing to do promotions after the concert and everything. So that's why a lot of fan signs in person are in like the beginning of May. There's like a 2-week or so break in the middle of April to have for the concert. This might be growing, and I might rearrange some things to add some new pops that some stores I have here might add after that. With all of that out of the way, let's just put all these fillers in. Okay, everything is set up here for the pops that we have so far. I was really only doing this because I didn't want to do all the pops before the end of the promotion, like all at once, because if they do come out with a lot more, I have less to do when filling out and preparing for those. So that's kind of like the main reason why I did it. I'm pretty satisfied with it, and let's just move on to the next binder, which should be the green one. And if you are not new here, surprise, this is the 4th binder that we have. And in this one is kind of like the last half of my blue binder that I have. So I have STAYC and Weeekly and kind of like any other new groups that I put in here. So I think Promise is gonna go in the front here, since that's like a collection that I'm doing a lot of progress on. And this, weirdly enough, is a binder that has some sleeves here in the front, so I was able to fit my Wow Season's Greetings mini poster here, even though it still does not fit the full binder. It still pops out a little. What I'm gonna do is open this up, and I'm gonna put quite the few pages because we will be adding for both Jiwon and Hayoung for Promise here. I should have 10 pages here because each member has 38 cards so far. So that means that we're going to need at least 5 pages for each member. I'm first gonna start off with Hayoung. Unfortunately, I will be having to cut this video into a third part again because I want to make sure that I actually buy more of the filler cards so that I have them for the rest of the video. And it's also getting pretty late for me, and I would have to have done double of this for Jiwon as well. So what I'm gonna do is just I'll fill all this up for Hayoung, and then whenever I get my new supplies, I will continue on with the last part and then move on with STAYC Weekly and any other thing I might need to do. So this is what Hayoung is currently looking like at the moment. I skipped some spaces for the cards that I already have, mainly from either the group order I joined for the Promise PCs for Jiwon and Hayoung, as well as the cards that I pulled for Hayoung in the Midnight Guest albums that I purchased from K-Town. So this is what we have so far. The next pages will be for Jiwon, and I will follow the same format, but I will wait until I receive more of the filler cards. Let's move on to the next clip. Hello everyone, this is part 3 of the binder organizing. We're pretty much starting off right where we left off, which was with the Hayoung Promise collection. I did get the replacement filler cards, and they are multicolored now, so you'll see it eventually at some point in this video, but I already replaced all of the paper fillers I had with the cards, and now we're just gonna move on to Jiwon. I'm not gonna talk too much during this clip because it is a little bit noisy around here, and I want to just make this kind of like a chill with me kind of video where we just organize and keep everything like just like in a speed lapse. But yeah, we're just gonna continue on with Jiwon and then move on to the other albums that we need to fill out, which I can't remember at the top of my head. So let's go. So we are done with the Jiwon, which means we're also done with Promise 9. I did realize while setting up now that for Hayoung, I forgot to include her Fun Factory Kino cards. At first I wasn't going to collect them because I thought they were postcards, but I saw somebody selling Jiwon cards and I saw the size of the Kino, so I figured I would just collect those as well because I really thought they were pretty, but if they were postcards I didn't want to just leave them in the back. A lot of cards for Jiwon I am getting very soon. I know for sure that with the Jiwon cards I recently bought after my group order, I will have all the Talk and Talk cards, I will have finished the 9 Traveler set, and I will also have the Kino cards for Fun Factory coming very soon, so I'm very happy for that. And I do have about a couple of trades still on the way, and yeah, so Promise collection will be growing a lot in the near future. Next up, we're going to go to STAYC. I'm probably going to have to reorganize this because I need to reorder this and I need to figure out where else I can put this weverse card because again, I don't collect pre-order benefits, but somebody I traded with had a pre-order card and they were looking for Hayoung cards, so I figured I would just help them out and trade that. And also the card looked really good, but I made sure to not let it tempt me to collect their pops because they have a lot. So we're going to include in here, we're going to reorganize this and also include YoungLuv.com. I do have all of my stuff up for trade, so hopefully that will grow soon. We are set up for STAYC. I just reorganized it and have everything in order, and this space here is for the AR card, which we did pull. And I will eventually add another probably 4-packet page here to include the Polaroids, which I am putting up for trade. Just figure out how I'm going to package that. For weekly, we do need to also set up because we have the new comeback play game Awake to include in here. I do have, I would say, probably 2 or 3 cards from that set. I have currently 4 out of the 10 cards that are in this set because each version has 5 cards, which are the 4 photo cards and the first press card. So we will include another page here. I wanted to use blue cards for Monday's fillers because her hair is blue and it kind of matches, but then I realized the papers I'm using are blue, so we're just gonna use this green one. This looks pretty. We do have another collection that we need to set up for, and it is for 17's fourth album. I believe it's Face the Sun is what it's called. I already have pre-ordered the albums as well as the kits. So it should be 5 different versions, 4 cards each, and 2 Kino cards, I believe. So what I'm gonna do first is I was waiting for a new era to come out in order to reorganize this first page, since we did do this set from the back to the front. So hopefully we should be able to fill out this first page instead of only have it be the 3 cards from the first album. I just checked the album inclusions, and in the preview it's very similar, if not exactly the same as an ode. There are 4 cards for each version per member, so there should be a total of 20 cards. As for the Kinos, it should be 1 for each Kino kit. So we're gonna go through the regular cards first. I think this is a lot better now that we have everything set up, because there's now only 2 spaces that are empty instead of the 6 that we had last time. So we made a lot of progress, and I'm happy to add more to my 17 collection. Also, I do have my Hengare albums. I did purchase them when I pre-ordered Face the Sun copies, so those should be coming along with that at the same time, and we could possibly be able to have enough cards to complete that set as well and fill up that. And as for older albums, since Mercari Japan is no longer a thing with Neokyo, it's been a bit harder for me to try and find these older cards. I think I'm going to wait until there's a large break in between comebacks of the groups I collect, and during that little hiatus or whatever of time that I have, I'll probably start focusing on getting some of the older cards. That'll probably not be until another little while, because after these comebacks that are coming, I'm probably gonna try and take a break from buying things in general and just focus on trading, because this was a lot for me this past couple of months with all the pre-order benefits for Weeekly and all the comebacks that I collect for Red Velvet, for now 17 and Weeekly and Promise and all of that. So I'm gonna try and take a break from buying things in general as much as I can and just focus on trading the cards that I have, so that I can get rid of all of my extras and could finish most of these sets before I continue to try and buy more. Alright, I think this is going to be the last part of this episode 6 of the binder organizing video we're doing, and the main reason why is because it's now been almost 3 months since I filmed the very first clip for this video, and the main reason why it's taken so long to actually finish this video is because I was still waiting for more things to come out, because at the first time it was still not much was happening and not a lot of things were finalized yet for me for all these comebacks that I'm collecting for. Ever since the previous one I did, which was I think in late April and it's now late May, the main thing that has been updated since then has been more pobs for Weeekly for First Love era. And when I mean update, it's a pretty big one. I think we still have like half of the pobs to put in this to at least set up for, because there have been a lot more that came out since this last clip I did, which, for example, for Make Star, I finished at C, but there's also, it went up to G, and also includes a lucky draw set that occurred, and we have more for Everline, and I think we need to put Easy You, which I didn't put last time, and we also have some merch from the concert, like the photo card set for that, as well as a Japan fan meeting that they did, which also came with a separate photo card set, and those are all from the same group order managers that I joined. So yeah, let's just try and get into it. Before I started recording this clip, I actually went into my iPad where I have my list of pre-order benefits that I joined group orders for, and I kind of just went through and see which ones I have not put in the binder yet. So I kind of have a general idea of how many I need to put in here right now. So let me just give a quick little count for that. Okay, so after this quick count, we should be putting away 20 more pobs in here, and we do have to rearrange all of these. So I'm going to pretty much take all of these cards out except for the Make Star one, so we could just start from there. So this should be everything for Make Star, and I believe what they did was that they didn't have a specific round 5 or Make Star round D or E, sorry, for this era. What they did instead was that for E they did the lucky draws, which come with 2 cards, and then the most recent update we have for Make Star is that they went up to G. I'm not sure if they ever announced officially that G was going to be the last round. I think that for Action era it ended in G or H. I don't know if it was around 7 or 8, one of those two. So we're just gonna hopefully manifest that G is the last round and we don't get any more cards for them, because that it's been a lot. This does look a little weird, but I'm fine with it right now at this moment. I can always move it around. The only card that we were missing for K-Town was just the round 4 card that they did. And again, we're not sure if this is the final round. For Action, they only did up to 2, so it's already a new thing that they passed 3. So, and then this one has a total of 7 cards for this store. Next store we needed to update was Jump Up. The only things we needed to update was that they did a round 4 for video and in person, and for round 5 they just did another video, which makes this perfectly reach 9 cards, which is a first for this update. Now this one is a little bit confusing for me, but next door is Dear My Muse. And the reason why I'm confused is because the most recent round that we did, a lot of group order managers were calling it 2, but there already was a 2 with an in-person and video. So I kind of just put it as 2 because that's how it was marked in the group chat that I joined to make payment, and that's where the proof of purchase was shown for my group order manager. So I was just marking it as that just for the sake of how it's going to be sent over to me. So let me just count. All right, we have 8 here. I might not have enough to do like a separate page for these two cards, but we have Everline, and since we last did this video, Everline had quite a bit of pre-orders. They had a round 4 for video in person and a round 5 for video and in person. So that's another 4 cards to add here, and we already have 5, so this will make 9. And then the only other thing we'll probably do is go back to a mixed star or a page with 7 and just add an MMT and a Who's Fan lucky draw spot there. So let's just finish this up. Hello. So this is actually the final part, I promise, of this video. I was editing what I currently had up until today for this video, and I realized that the outro got cut off and I still had some other comebacks I needed to update on here. So in this one, we are going to finish off all of the pobs because it is officially now over for First Love era. All the pobs are done finally. It took until June for them to finish, and then we're also going to set up for Promise's new comeback from the Memento Box, which should be coming out in about 5 days from the day I'm filming this clip. So I'm gonna try to make sure that I edit this as quickly as possible before that comeback so I can give myself more time to edit the other videos I have. We're going to first start off with the last pobs for First Love era, and before we continue with this, I do apologize if you hear some noise while I am talking. In the background, I have my computer on because I was editing the video, and I also have my dog in here sleeping with me. She usually never sleeps with me, but she wanted to sleep in my room today, so I just let her. So on my note where I have the list of pobs for Wii, I have a separate list that I made of the pobs that I still need to put in the binder. So we're going to just go through that. So for the new pobs we need to store away, we have 2 more for Make Star, 2 more for K-Town, 4 more for Jump Up, 1 more for Dear My Muse, and 2 more for Everline. What I will do here is I will make up the cards that we need to add in here for the fillers, and then once we have those fillers and we have an idea of how many cards we need to put away in the separate pages, we will do the little reorganizing and moving cards around to different pages as they see fit. With the package of fillers I currently have, I don't have enough of the white cards to use those for the rest of this, so unfortunately it's gonna look a little bit different with the yellow, but I like the yellow. It's officially summer, so just get in the summer mood with that. So unfortunately, as I was reorganizing the rest of the cards that I'm missing for Jump Up and Everline, there are too many cards to try and fit into the same page that I have the other ones with. I'm just going to make another page right now, maybe two, depending on how many cards I have left, and just put the rest of the pre-order benefits that I have here in just one page, because I think only MMT has the MMT logo in the back, but for Everline and Jump Up, they don't really have like a logo of the store in the back of the cards. It's just the logo of the group. And we are finally done with the pre-order benefits for First Love Era. I just counted and there are 7 pages for here of just pre-order benefits, and the last one has 8, so that means that there are 61 pre-order benefits that we have here, excluding Make Star A. It's a lot. But thankfully I was able to join a group order for most of these. I think I'm only missing one pre-order benefit, so I'm very lucky to be able to find group order managers who do ones for pretty much all the pre-order benefits that come out, so we'll be able to finish this collection super quick. And now let's move on to the Promise binder. Here we have the green binder, and all we have to do is just go to the last page here. So I already have an extra page here in the back for Jiwon. I'm just going to double check and see how many cards each album has for each member. Similar to the Midnight Guest album, the From Our Memento albums come with 2 cards for each member per version, as well as 1 card for each Kino. There is no jewel case for this era, only the Kino and the album, at least from what I could tell right now. We should have a total of 4 cards for the album versions and 2 cards for the Kinos, because there are 2 Kinos. And the 3 versions are Wish, Dream, and Memory, and the kit albums are Wish and Dream version. So we should have about 6 cards for each for Jiwon and Hayoung for this era. So on this page, I'm going to make the fillers for Jiwon and Hayoung, and then I'll just put them in the pages after. So as I was doing the fillers, I realized I made a mistake. It's not 6 cards for each member, it's a total of 8, since it is 6 album cards, 2 for each version, as well as the 2 Kino cards. So what I will do is, I'm gonna have 1 row for Wish with the Kino at the end, 1 row for Dream with the Kino at the end, and then the 2 here would be the memory cards. So that way it can have just the filler in the middle, and it's not like anywhere uneven like on this side here on the corner. So I'm just gonna set it up that way for both of them. And we are done with the From Our Memento box for both Jiwon and Hayoung. Pretty quick and pretty simple. With the copies that I have, we should be able to have all of the cards with the albums that we pull. I did order double for each version in order to be able to just trade off the cards that I pulled if they're not the members, just to make it easier on myself. And that was it for this video. Finally, for sure, I'm gonna make sure that this will be the final clip so that I don't have to set up anything else for this episode. This is about 3 months in the making. I started this in March and it is now already the end of June, so we are finally done with all the recent comebacks that we've had in these past few months starting in March, and new collections that we started, and now we just have to wait for more comebacks so that way we can start the new episode. But I do hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I usually make album unboxings, photo card organizing, binder organizing, collective hauls, and videos of that nature. I also have a deep dive video on the group Hinapia. I have it carded up there, and I'm currently working on a second episode, so make sure you subscribe so that way you stay tuned to see when I upload a new video. In the descriptions of my videos, you'll find all my usual links, such as my social media, links to different organizations and resources, the background music I use for my video, a future schedule of videos that I will upload after this one, and the song recommendation for the video, which for today will be Pop by Bugaboo. Bugaboo has been a group that I have been watching since pre-debut. There is a YouTuber that I watched that was really a fan of them, and I got into them a little bit. I kind of got off when I found out they were doing NFTs because I do not support NFTs, but they actually just recently came back with their second single album, Pop, and the song is really good. I like it a lot, and it's just one that got really stuck in my head super easily. The choreo is really catchy. I've just been a huge fan of their song, so if you haven't listened to it, please go ahead and listen to it. Hope you enjoy it, and if you are going outside, please take as many necessary precautions as you need to take in order to keep yourself and those around you safe and healthy. I wish you all the very best, and I will see you with the next video, which after this one will probably be my January through June collective haul for 2022. Bye for now.